let's see if we've got audio. Yeah, we've got audio. Okay. Okay. I am not good at this game anymore. It is quite a meta. But I really love it. The design is so smooth. The design is just so smooth. So we're gonna play 1 or 2 games of this, and then I'll move on to code. Let's see. Yeah, I might as well. Oh, hey, look. There's laundry in the frame. Just say no to the laundry in the frame. Okay. And yep, there's our frame. Oh, there's glass one. Oh. Okay, so I like 100 additional supplies per round would be good. I mean, this is just such a good combo. Something like the speed specialist and then here we are. Incoming. So we need recommendation. It's gonna be. Yeah, that's what I'm really gonna kill me this round. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this first round I'm gonna get destroyed. it. That's so hard. I'm not sure it's worth it. Do I want this? Oh shit, I better while I'm waiting for that next game. Hurry up. Oh, Come on. Loading, 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 loading. Back to the lobby. Level up. Why have it? That doesn't make any sense. Alright. Fine. I like it anyway. Oh, look at that. I guess I'm not. Go. And I've always loved Elite Specialist. It's just so high quality pick. Because you get so much power out of it. And arc lights. So this needs to be wary of I mean this needs marksman and anti-air. And this needs fangs and anti-air. Marksman or fangs. To counteract the fact that it's and having the 2 sets of level 2 fangs is actually quite nice at the beginning of the game, I guess. So yeah, so we got that. And I should That's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty bad for me. But marksman, fangs, and crawler, or marksman, mustangs, and crawlers basically means that I could just do more arc lights, I guess. But it'd be better to do fangs, because fangs are level 2. And they should go here. And this just protects me on the side. tooth. I mean, a wraith would be so nice to have. Fortress, that unlocks the fortress too. Let's see what I'm fighting against. I'm fighting against rhinos. So, fortress it is, I guess. Really aggressive rhino attack there. And then, unlock the hacker. Versus rhino is one of the best things you can do. And we go with that. Oh, my hackers are super expensive. But yeah, co-opting those rhinos will make me a lot better off. So somebody's gonna drop in the middle, get a bunch of gold that I'm not. I think I did okay on cash. Okay, so that laser sights. And I get upgrade one of my things. Okay, he's got 20,000. Okay, so he's got more damage than everybody else. Alright, great. And I should probably sell those guys. Those are really, yeah, okay. I mean, I could upgrade them. It's kind of like double value. What's this? This is assault mode. So HP, so they've got, those are high. Okay. This guy is gonna, I mean, these hackers are gonna just steal everything. Not any air at all. So really want, I want to know which one to get. Now this one's going to level. And now we just try and get money. Oh, I won the last one, so it... Bangs. Ooh, that's interesting. To heavy carry marksman is what he has here is an interesting setup. He has no anti-air, so that no anti-air that fights wasps well. So this is a good. This will make it. wonder if I lost myself the game with a bad update. It's no good. Fortress gets sledgehammers. Sledgehammers, I can give some hit points. Increased by 40%. Mustangs. Level 5 Phoenixes. Let's see. What am I doing here? I got 1700. Level 5 Phoenixes sound just nice to have sitting around. And I have 498. Maybe I can buy one medium complexity unit and one low. Or I could get range on these guys so they can fight over here against the marksman. Or I could put a hacker on the top of this. And then increase all my defenses. And increase the move speed and attack of these guys to make somebody else's life miserable. Do I have scorpions? I do not. I'm just gonna okay. And money I spent that. Okay, but a surprise here would be to they've got a range of 95 meters. Now my tanks have a range of 75 meters. This gives them a lot more attack. Set up. Okay, so these take about half an hour per minute. So 850 for that. Or range on these guys. This thing here. Wasp over here. And photon coating on it's about like defense for the first attacks, and that's going to be the came in third. It looks like I don't think I oh wow, oh he's gonna have so many problems. carry marksmen have not been nerfed. Carry arc lights are not as good, but carry marksmen are still ridiculous. All right. Because carry arc lights used to be a lot better than they are. So I came in third. Oh well. And that took about 35 to 40 minutes. All right, so now it's off to make code. Anybody has any questions, now is a good time. I'm going to switch this on over to code capture? No, streaming enablement? No. Fortnite? No. Just streaming. That's what I called it. And let's see, my audio mixer still is getting stuff. All right, so hello everybody. I'm out of the Mecha Villain world. And I probably won't play that game. I just wanted to see. I won't be playing that game again for a long time. I just wanted to see the four-man thing because I'd seen it online, and that was awesome. It's very rare that somebody takes that big a design risk and builds a game where there is a four-man. There's literally a four-man. There's like a four-man free for all. It just doesn't. They don't. It's really, yeah, really rare. All right, and now let's get bastard. Let's get to streaming. All right, so I will be right back. I'm gonna grab something, a glass of water, a little snack. I'll be right back. No. Here we are. forward, 2 down. Okay. And movement array now out goes to man, I do not know what is wrong here, but I really need it to stop doing that. Um, hey, that's weird too. Why won't it let me change that? Oh, okay. So I have to. And then go to return now. um, wow. Oh, this return needs to be a array. All right. Okay. And then um, class and forward 2 down. So this is forward action. Make transform. Location negative 1000. Okay. That action has a collider on it. And here we have this. Oh, and that goes into there. Great. And then so this would be a lot easier in code, honestly. I am a little disappointed that I have done this in blueprints because in blueprints, this specific blueprint and all the blueprints like it are going to be very, um, they're all going to look like this instead of having a pretty simplistic look. Um, and that's just not good. I'm not proud of the way I'm doing this. And there are times when that's okay in programming, and there are times when that's kind of so good. Let's see here, and this is probably it's probably okay in this case because I don't anticipate making major changes to the way these are structured. I hope not. Okay, and so we've got forward 2 down. What are the other ones? Forward 2 turn clockwise. And then this goes turn right. And forward, instead of forward 2 down, this one needs to go turn down. Turn down action. Okay. And then that actually is, oh, gracious. The default value for action cue return is invalid. Where? Why can't it do that? Can I do this? Okay. All right. So set action cue return. Oh, no, that's not it. That's this. Okay, so action cue return. Okay. And then copy this. And put that going there. That going there. Oh, and this is forward 2 turn clockwise. It's interesting that it works sometimes but not others. All right. So there we go. And now we should be able to get default action cue. Uh-oh. What was I just looking at where oh wow. I beat the objective. Use load save manager. Where did I just mess up? Get default action cue. Base piece. Okay, so base piece contains get default action cue. Oh, right. So I need to call get default action key differently. Oh, hey, look at that. Did I crash Unreal? No. Okay. So I need I need to make a reference to any object here. Default movement style. Yeah, that's not an interface. Okay, begin play. So in base piece. This has to happen in the setup period. Oh, I think the pieces are loaded late enough just to get find object of type. class. Get actor class. Movement style initializer. Set up all default movement. Get default action cue. There we go. Default action list. Get default action cue needs to, let's see here. Movement style initializer. Get movement style initializer. Okay, so we want to find a movement style initializer. Okay, and get default action cue. Oh, okay, this is on a different, as a movement type in, get default action cue. Okay, so base piece needs get default action cue. Why is it not? It's got a movement type in. Why is it not? All function get default action cue. Right, okay. And then default movement style goes here. Okay. And then action cue out. Game board, get game board. Set up action cue. No. On the game board, does the game board, where's the game board? Build single action cue. Right. Okay. Build single action cue. So this needs build single action cue. A. Damn thing. All right. Build single. Yeah. Interesting. This feels like it must be a bug. I mean, it can't. It could be that my mouse is dying. But it just feels like a bug because I just have so much trouble with this. All right, here we go. And then we got action array. Wow. This is really annoying. Action array. We got piece ID. Piece ID goes here. And repeat actions is true. So if you've got a default movement style, you're going to be, it's going to repeat the actions, and that's the plan. Huh. That's the plan. That is the plan. All right. So,
Burp just subscribed. Hello.
okay, out of raw curiosity, I'm going to go look at the Dota patch. because I haven't seen the Dota patch and I want to know what it's like. Dota patch 7.36. Oh wow! So they really bumped that number a lot. Okay, so they Roshan's banner. Ooh. Wow, that's interesting. Dragonlance can't be disassembled. Okay. And Octarine 4 nerfed. Sanja Shakaya all nerfed. Oh, and then the full 3. Oh, cast speed goes way up. Oh, interesting. Abaddon. Blood Seeker. Broodmother. Wow. Okay. Chaos Knight. I played a lot of him. Wow, Chen got a summoned creature. Wow. Well, that's fascinating. Crystal Maiden, base mana regen decreased from 0.5 to 0. So she needs to have her. Oh, okay. She has amplification to mana regen. Wow. Okay, so that's powerful. Allied air heroes within aura's radius, close radius for sure. Oh, she buffs. She gives everybody else mana. Wow, that's cool. Let's see. I'm looking for my favorite heroes, which would be Silencer. Where's Silencer? We got here. Sightseer. Oh, that's terrible. Um, what? I mean, I guess it gives a lot more vision. That's nice. Overcharge. Okay, so you get either health or defenses. Attack or defense. Attack or defense. Hero. Coddle. Coddle got. That doesn't make it head. Wow, that's a weird one. Kunkka. Luna. One was cast range at night. So she did not get a big buff. Wow, Marcy's team starts with flying careers. That's a big deal. Tag time. Okay, so the ones I really care about here are Silencer. Shard increases it. Okay, so it's sounds we're gonna be silenced. not. So because that's a long steel duration to that. Hmm. Um, and then you've got global silence. Also applies arcane curse. Wow. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good. That's a good improvement. And then what do we got here for Trent? Passive can't be leveled up. Um, Interesting. Okay. Well, all right. They didn't do anything drastic. I mean, silencer is still going to be junk. Okay. So here we are. We got Bill single action queue. Save all. And then print. Not implemented. Okay. I'm just going to do this for these three right now because that's the easiest way to start in and test the functionality later. Okay. So, uh-oh. Okay, so we've got our thing here. And I want to add, oh my goodness. Wow. Fill single action queue, BP based piece. Okay, so I need we need to add one of these things. Default movement style initializer. Hey, no. Drag you into the scene and save all and open recent level, primary game level, and do movement style initializer here too. And obviously it's going to do the same thing and think I double clicked. I don't know why that is. It must be that either my computer is so junky I can't do this anymore, or okay, file, save all. All right, and now we want to get a default movement style none. Great. Okay, and then we're gonna get a create a I'm going to create a hazard that moves. Okay. And this hazard needs to go to 100 or 300. Where is it? Okay, 300 and 200. Okay, so it's over there. Let's go to 400, 400, just because that puts it closer to the center of the game board. And then game board, primary game board, primary game board, and then rename. Ah. Okay. this default movement style is forward one down. What? Call it forward two down one place and forward one down another. Okay, well, that will be fine. It's not actually changing the number, so that's cool. If anybody has questions, you're welcome to ask them. I am just sitting here grinding away at code. So here we go, and see what happens when I hit the play button. Okay, access none, trying to read property game board. In practice, that won't cause problems. But in, okay, and then, I mean, we're just going to break this. I'm going to add an event. Set up default movement. And set up default movement goes here. And this is I mean, realistically, that is just fine right there. Okay, and then we got the game level. What are we going to do with the game level? Okay. Okay. Piece ID. So these all should have piece IDs, and they don't. So we're gonna go with this is gonna be 1. That's 3. Okay. Well, this can be 2 then. And this can be 4. And this could be 5. Great. So this is piece ID 5. Piece owner 0. Okay. Piece owner 0. Okay. All. Here, I'm gonna text my wife. Find out if she is. What time are you playing? I need to cook dinner. Yesterday, my wife came home and she was like, "There is no food in this house that's edible," and I was like, "Well, there's plenty. It's just not cooked." And she was not happy with that answer. because she'd just come home with the kids and they were really late. The kid, we take turns taking care of kids, and man, she was not happy when she found out there was nothing to eat and the kids were already not happy kids. Already not happy children. Ah! Stack overflow. Okay, well, scheisse. Okay, so we have a problem there. Bum. Oh, man. My mess is over here. And we're going to hide that with the green screen because let me be blunt, all right? I live in a... Yeah, all right. Well, I'm just going to hide that. Me and my one viewer, whoever it is. I appreciate you. Okay, build succeeded. I don't know why there was a stack overflow. Yeah, no idea. Okay. Unreal Engine coming back up. While Unreal Engine comes back up, let's check my YouTube stats. Not good. All right, so let's look at Slashdot and see what's going on in the world of nerds. Zero raising prices on its older plans. Well, that is interesting. Risks supports Rust. Replacement fuels for airplanes will worsen the climate crisis. Knows realistic, scalable, sustainable aviation fuels. That's too bad. All right, well, can't solve all the world's problems, or any of them, apparently. Let's see here. So, let's open these back up, and we'll see. Whoa, okay, so movement style initializer, not a problem. File, recent levels, editing game level. Editing game level has this asteroid. And honestly, this should not crash everything. Okay, so this doesn't crash everything. What needs to happen though, and might crash things, is going into the game board manager and let's see here. And game board manager needs, I need to take this game board, primary game board, and do add here and add the BP hazard rating for 2. All right, so that's there. And then the game board manager at the end of load game board level. No, game board manager. No, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. For each loop. Okay. Game pieces. This goes up. This goes. No. Wow. Wow. Something is really messed up here. Set up default movement. All right. Okay. What are these guys? Seed optimization. Oh God, I'm done with Electro. All right. Okay. Ended up with double ticks. Editor with trying to pull off loop print notes. Is this affecting anything else? Okay. Into sudden hardware. Into new hardware limitations. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And let's let's see. Let's look at the primary game board, or let's look at the movement queue. Queued actions. Oh, okay. Default player piece. Well, that does not bode well. Add breakpoint. Okay. So, file, save all. Run this. Really? It didn't even run that? Oh, okay. So that also needs to be in setup level variables? No. That also needs to be in setup game board. Find references. Okay. Well, that doesn't help me at all. Game modes. Initial as play. Okay, so this definitely gets, this pulls out, this sets up the game board. This calls setup game board. This load, I don't want to call it twice, so I'm worried about does loan game board level, does it call setup game board? Load level save from archive. Spawn from level save. Add one piece. Set up action cube. Set up level variables. It does not look like my god, this code is a mess. I mean, okay, so okay, so get actor of class, my game board. Use load save manager. No, that's not what I'm interested in. Load game board level. Set up level variables. Build single action queue. Okay, so set up game board. I think this is where you've got to be shitting me. Stop doing that, please. Okay, so then it sets up the default movement at the end. Action cues. Set up single action cue. And then player scores. That doesn't make any sense. Um, that doesn't make any sense at all. Um, let's see here. That shouldn't be in the. That shouldn't be in the setup of the action standard macros. I don't know why I'm in standard macros, but I don't want to be there. Why? Oh. Well, it doesn't make any sense. This is doesn't make any sense that this is the way it works. That I've got this set up this way, where it's got field single action cube. Doesn't make any sense that it's doing this. Okay. So okay. Okay. So do we have action cues for this thing? Queued action list 0. Memory game board. Game pieces. Okay. so it isn't loading there at all. And the question is why? Because it should be coming in here. Let's see if I get this far. Okay. The movement type in is forward 2 down. Okay. No value found for key. Okay. So set up action cues. Let's see here. Can't have cue. So this needs to have a can have cue. True. Base piece can have cue. There we go. Can have cue. All right, great. Okay. Now I should have. Okay. All right. So. It is not executing turn down appropriately. Or turn down doesn't work. Let's try that. Let's see if that's the problem here. Nope. That works fine. Okay, well, and we've also got a problem there that but it doesn't seem to be executing the turn down. Okay, so I mean, this is much better than expected. Much better than expected. Event graph. Move piece forward, start new rotation. Okay. So, is the problem that I can't have 2 rotations at the same, or I can't? Add breakpoint. Okay. Add breakpoint here. Maybe the problem is that maybe I did something stupid. Start new rotation. Okay, now did I put, it's entirely possible that BP player on piece, default player piece. overlap. That's a bunch of stuff. This is the event graph. Okay. And then BP player on piece. So why is it not processing the rotation properly? That's interesting. So what we've got here is the rotation. Did she text me back? She did not. I don't know what you expect me to do. I mean, I guess I can preheat the oven now. I'll preheat the oven at 6. Okay. Oven preheat at 6. Let's see here. So why? All right. So play this game. Remove breakpoint. So I see my default movement. Okay. And I want my rotation execution. I want to add a breakpoint on my base piece rotation execution. It's interesting that add breakpoint. Okay, so this, I'm going to remove this breakpoint. All right. Remove breakpoint. Okay, so start new rotation is called. Rotation adjustment in. Oh. Huh. Hello. How you doing, Butchin? I am debugging. I have a problem. I have found the problem. It is strange. Ah. Rotation amount. This should be. See, this is -90. Bulletproof wood. Blah, blah, blah. Ditching this. All right, so lightweight.
Any kind of wood using some.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Okay, so he's trying to add a bunch of chemicals to wood to make it bulletproof, huh? Somehow, I don't believe this is going to work. But it does. Interesting. Huh. Oh, well, sure, okay. Um, huh. That's funny because there's a lot of, I mean, there's always reports anytime there's conflict where somebody ends up with like a book in their pocket. So, let's see, can a Bible chat? Let's see here. Let's see. Are there recorded instances of Bibles stopping bullets? Because books are actually, it's funny because people don't know this, but um, uh, there's often a um, you know, as basically as have bullets calibers dropped over time. So the thing is that um, uh, yeah, that early bullets were very large. So early bullets, when you put a bullet into a musket, it needed to be pretty big because you had a ball and you know just a mess. Um, uh, but over time, the caliber of bullets is shrunk um, uh, pretty drastically, um, and and so it is easier for books and wood and that kind of thing to stop bullets. And it looks like he used. Does he say what caliber of bullet this is? Um, because that's a pretty thick piece of wood, but that's a pretty small caliber bullet as well. That looks like it is a that hole is not a not a it doesn't look like a very thick. Let's see here what we got here. Yeah, 22. So if it's a 22, that's a pretty small caliber. And if you were to use a thicker caliber, it'd probably penetrate much deeper in there. Would be my guess. I don't know. Um, Still, it's a cool idea. Um, I don't know. Certainly don't want to be in a situation where I need to wear a bulletproof vest in the first place. You know. So, although, unfortunately, I live somewhere where that may eventually be required for somebody in my family. Um, left action. Does turn left action have a default rotation? Rotation amount. Where is this rotation coming from now then? I've got this thing. Available actions? No. UI. And then okay, so we've got this. This has several actions in it. It's the available action tray. And each of these has a graph. We got a graph here. Where is the action container? Fine. Actions, available actions, turn left button. And this button, when you press it, oh, so I did it here. It's kind of moronic. Okay. So, turn left action needs -90 here. Right action. And then let's see here. So I need the BP for UI turn up is doing 90 on Y. And turn down is doing -90. Okay, on Y. Great. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what you said. Hello, Yurisaki. How are you? Oh, he disappeared. He said hello and then goodbye. Oh well. And let's see here. Let's go into here and start. I think I can remove this breakpoint. And what's going on here? Okay, well, let's start this. Okay. And we go forward 2, 3, right, forward 2, right, forward, start. Okay. Disable breakpoint. Hey, look at that. I mean, it goes further than the player, so it should stop with the player. Yeah. So we're gonna go back in here. We're gonna see if game board management. It's the game board manager. And execute piece movement here for each. Okay, completed. Execute next action. Okay, so we need to just stop this, and then yeah, I'll need to dig that out. Wait. Okay, well let's show this in the message log. Let's see. Remove piece. Okay, well that I'm gonna deal with later. Because that should not. I will have to look closely at that one. Oh, that might be related to me stopping the whole process. Okay, and I need to make everything. I need to change everything from destruction to being active. So that I can do roll back forward and roll back, but that's not a minimum viable product issue. Let's see here. So start new rotation. We'll remove this breakpoint. Go into the game board manager. Execute piece movement. Oh, and there has to be on the event. It's got to be on the event graph process phase. Current turn complete. So process phase. Check player movement complete. Okay. And array element player ID is greater than or equal to 0. True. Action completes. False. Else. So I need to check all of the for each loop, for each player ID is greater than 0. So this player ID should not be greater than 0 at the moment. Should it? Is it? Piece owner. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong variable. Add to block list and new stream chat. Deal with that cheap viewers. Okay, so here we have array element, player ID, queued action list, object reference. Oh, so that's on the queued action list. Oh, and the queued action list. Okay, so let's see. Let's add a breakpoint here. So let's see if I've got piece owner 0, piece ID 1. Okay. And now we've got piece owner 0, piece ID 1 again. So it shouldn't be... Oh, so I think I need to set this up. I think I intended for this to be a -1 here. Because the default player ID... Okay, so let's see if that tells it that... All right, so the local player defaults to player ID 0. That means that the queue will stop now. And that means that I have this like orbiting thing where I can go like this. And now it keeps moving when I do. It doesn't move when players aren't moving. Right. The reason somebody would buy Twitch followers and buy people to watch their stream and viewers so that they would, they would probably just bought a set of things. So the reason somebody would do that is because if you look at Twitch, what it is doing for browse. Okay, so if you go to browse and you say go to software and game development, this is all ordered by number of viewers. And so because I have, let's see if I'm even on here, see if it set me up here right. Okay, well, let's add myself as a viewer because, why not? Cheat while you can. Reader dashboard. What am I? I'm live stream manager. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Game development. So yeah, so I'm here. I should be in software and game development. How many viewers do I have? I am at 2 people viewing. 2 people viewing. And when I'm at 2 people viewing, I am right here. And if I were to do botting and have like, I'd have to be at it's interesting because you'd need to have a ton of bots. You need to be doing like 70, 80 bots to get up to the top layers. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're aiming for, is to get people that want to be up in this top bit. And it's one of those things where they assume that if they succeed, nobody will call them on it, which is probably true. I mean, it's very rare that if they not only bring other people to the platform with them, or if they eventually get enough of a following, it's one of those things where I mean, I'm sure it has worked for someone, but the people really making the money most of the time are the people that are selling the bots. Yeah. So here we are, huh? I now have queues. I'm very proud of myself for having gotten that up set up so that I now can have default queues for things, and that gives me orbiting rocks and things, and you know this game is actually like there's a super complicated math problem behind this game called the traveling salesman problem, huh? And and basically given a list of cities and the distances between each pair of cities, what's the shortest possible route of visiting each city exactly once or multiple times? Does not matter. You can go back and forth through the things in this case, um, and doesn't and just hits all the things. And so, the cool thing about building a game around a mathematical problem like this um, is that because it's such a complicated mathematical problem, people look at this game and they're like, "Oh, it's easy," but um, but because the math behind it is such a is this NP complete problem, and NP complete problems are like factoring prime numbers is an NP complete problem. Um, and if you could factor prime numbers easily, then you could basically break into half the internet as it is. So building a game around this concept means that the game can be really, really like it can be simple to figure out and how to play it, and then very difficult to actually solve any of the big problems in it. And I mean, this grid is a 10 by 10 grid, I think. Hold on, it might be 11 by 11. I can't remember. I think it's 11 by 11. And because it's an 11 by 11 grid, 11 by 11, it's like a three-dimensional square, right? A three-dimensional cube. That means that the problem space available is just huge. If you put 10 um, 10 little 10 little objectives on this map and give a player two little ships to collect all 10, there's going to be literally millions of ways to do it. And then when you add in obstacles and you add in moving obstacles, and then I'm planning on adding a tracing obstacle that chases players or chases the nearest ship. But that's not going to be for the original demo. I'm really waiting on the art from my wife for the first demo. At this point, like I have everything I need to just build levels, and I'll build all the levels, and then we'll have a demo. Okay, so trying to read two. So does this blue this needs a does this need a interesting? So it's trying it one of these doesn't have the game board. Yeah, there we go. Okay, one of these doesn't have the game board referenced. Piece owner -1. -1. Yeah, so this is like level 2, basically. When you take this moving one off, this is level 2. Oh, and I need to figure out save and load. So file. Need to make make sure that save and load work with disable breakpoint. Okay. Okay. And now we have this is level 2 test. And this is level 2 test. And save with names. And load level. Okay. This now loaded the level. Let's see here. See if I made everything work right the first time. Nope. Fail. That's too bad. All right. So let's see what the problem is here. Was there an error in the output log? Let's find that out. Hazard 1. Hazard 1 has a default movement style of none. Okay, so it isn't saving the default movement style properly. That's fine. You have to delete the one I just created. Use items gather and hunt. No. Unreal. Hunt, gather, hunt 5.4. Content, board setups, level 2 test. All right, so those two do not work. And I need the save. Please load save manager. Name, make piece, save data, movement type. Yeah, so the movement type. Get default movement style. And that goes into movement type. And now we go to the piece load. Load level save from archive. Load serialized object from file. Oh, the row trust and open. Okay. Really? So it just isn't saving properly. Okay. Window. Okay. All right. So this can just go. I don't need that. That's not what I want. Okay. And then we want to go back here. Save level 2 test. Level 2 test. Okay, and save names. Load level 1 button this time. Still doesn't load it properly. Okay. It does have a default movement style. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. Okay, so does it have a default movement style now? Hazard 1 does not have a default movement style. Okay. So please load save manager. Load level save from archive. Spawn from level save. Add 1 piece in. So add 1 piece needs Okay, so setup after load, that is in base piece. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. Okay, so piece in movement type, I need to add it right. I'd really like to move all this back. Ah, it didn't mess me up. All right. Okay, so set. Um, uh, okay, movement type enum, set movement type. Okay, and then okay, so this stuff all needs to be added here. So piece ID, piece owner. Okay, so here we need to set the set default movement style. There we go. Okay, now that should work. Load level, level button, and news. Okay. Okay, so that, okay, load level, push the level button here. As a 1, forward turn down. Okay, great. Forward 2 down, and then we get the board, primary game board. And we have 5 pieces. Fine. And then cues. Queued action was 0. So the hazard might have a problem in that it is can't have Q is negative. Is false. So I need to save the can have Q. Okay. And that needs to go into the piece, that goes into piece save data. No, piece save data.h. Yeah. And then we go edit anywhere and read write boolean bool can have you false. Okay. And then in new level save, equipment type. And now we put that in here. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a cool system, Blueprints. Sorry, I missed that. My notifications are broken apparently. But yeah, the blueprint system is cool. Um, it is. It's a really cool flowchart system. Um, the problem is that there are some that there are a few problems with it as far as I'm concerned, and with using it as extensively as I am. It's hard to generate it with AI, and the code for like this code here, I generated a big chunk of it with AI. All the like building the enums and stuff like that. Like I was like, spit out this for me in C sharp, C++, and it did. Um, and um, the whole live coding thing, where you like, the problem is that when you are sort of going between blueprints C++, it doesn't like that a lot. And then I can run into big sort of issues where yeah, there's just some issues that I've run into, that I could like, it's a it's a cool system, um and it's very visual, but honestly, after building, this game is, it's gotten to be a fairly sizable game as a result of using blueprints and being and doing stuff within the rules and the system of blueprints. Um, Even though what it's doing is actually quite simple. Although, I mean, I've got layers and layers of abstraction that I kind of need and kind of don't. It's designed to be able to, I'll be able to put 100 levels in here pretty easily. Um, um, Making 100 interesting levels will be difficult. Well, I don't know, but yeah, the whole blueprint system, it's hard to work with in some ways, because you end up with spaghetti. It looks like spaghetti, and it is spaghetti in my case, in some cases. Because I did some stuff that I probably wouldn't do again in blueprints, the same way. Where I built a whole model view controller system for my UI, for example, and I'm not sure that was the way I should do that. Piece load save manager needs local variables. Can have Q. Can have Q. Let's see here, and set can have Q. Put it here. That. Hello. You go there, and then okay. And we want can have Q to go here, and there we go. You've got can have Q set up, and then I need to set it to save can have Q. Save current piece setup. this would be, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm not sure that I was also very explicit on some things. Like I probably should have built and this causes issues too. I probably should have built a structure, um, or a class that was just called like piece elements, and then attach that, and pass that along everywhere. Um, but that has its own issues in because then every time I changed piece elements, I would need to change that. I would need to change that all over I would need to like recompile instead of changing it everywhere. I change it everywhere. It's and then I would also need piece elements to be in C++ because it's actually a little complicated to be using stuff from blueprints in C++. So I couldn't add piece elements easily without using reflection. Um, uh, this project has been a learning experience. Okay. Oh, primary game level. I don't want to be in the primary game level. I want to be in heading game level. Okay. Okay. So this, we're gonna go in here, board setups, level 2 test. Wow. Okay. That's not good. Yes. So there are a lot of sort of pre-built. Yeah, yeah. So you get all these. So all of the. If you look at the. Let's stop this and restart it. If you look at the blueprint, there's in the blueprint graph there are tons and tons and tons of built-in nodes, and that's what they're called, is nodes. Let's see if this works. Okay, set up default movement. Hazard. Hazard 1. Owner has default movement. Q. Read action list 1. 3 MA elements. All right, great. So I've got everything set up. Yeah, so it's not everything. My guess is that, there are certain things that they sort of reserve for C++. For example, there's a lot of memory management stuff. Things do, like everything, my guess is that everything that's really widely used eventually reaches Blueprint because it's not hard. I've definitely, um, um, I built, let's see here, what's something that I built that's in, first let me test this, and then I'll find an example. All right, so, okay, here we go. Yeah, great. All right, so it works appropriately. So if I look at Game Board Manager, for example, let's set up level variables. What's something that I've built that I have used, that's in code that I've used? My array utilities. Here we go. Okay. So my array utilities, I've built something that's called split, or I built it. ChatGPT and I sort of built this. ChatGPT built this simple bubble sort. It just calls a built-in sort function. So you can't sort arrays in blueprints, for example. you have to build a wrapper function. And so I wanted here in get next, get action cue. Get action cue key list for next pre. So this calls my two custom functions, sort int array and split and rearrange array. Yeah, right. Well, I mean that's the whole idea. Like this gets the asteroid moves. Here we go. We got the asteroid moving, and this whole thing is set up so that I can give you you want it to get really trippy, then I can do something like this, and I can give you two pieces that you can move. Huh? So this one, we'll send it over here. Right. So this one, oh, my queue switching isn't working. Right. That's too bad. That's interesting. So this one, let's go to, oh, all right. Well, let's trash that. Okay, so at some point I had this working. That's disappointing. But the idea is that you can have two people, or you can have two action cues here. This is not letting me do that though, sadly, and I don't know why. Yeah, so like the concept of this game is that you could have like the goal, and the reason that I put so much effort into the engineering behind it is the goal is for there to be like a chess style game where you have two people with three or four moving pieces trying to collect the satellites. And I mean, if you think about it, that's going to be a very like interesting, complicated, weird game. Yeah, yeah, that's the oh, this needs to be piece ID 7, I think. And what do we got here? Yeah, piece ID 5, piece ID 6. Okay, that's probably the problem. Here we go. What happened there? Okay, I don't care that there's an exception. Oh man, I don't know what happened here. All right, well we're gonna have to reboot. Um, do 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 do. Oh. Right. Yeah. Oh, I need to go. I need to go preheat the oven. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, green screen on the left of my cam. Oops. Wait, that's, yes, that is showing the door. All right. Can't break the illusion that I live in a, blank room. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah. So let's get Unreal back empty. Unreal is booting back up. It's having issues for some reason, and I'm not very happy about that. At 86%. Yeah, something happened. That was not a clean crash. I'm going to need to end the stream in another like 10 minutes, I think. The children are coming home. And that is when my life becomes very exciting. Very exciting. Let's see, here we are at 86%. Come on. Huh. That's weird. It should be done by now. But yeah, so the concept, the concept of the game, just generally, was that is that you have like multiple ships to gather these things up, to gather all these pieces up. And then, when you have things like if you start having obstacles that track whichever ship is closest, and turn towards it and take time to turn towards it, that leaves some interesting problems where like you have to get both of the get things that are on either side of the map, and while you're picking stuff up, you need to like fool this ship to turn towards one that is harder for it to reach periodically, or that isn't like get it away from, use one ship to distract the things in the right direction. And there's all sorts of room for cool puzzles in in building this game. Um, we're gonna stop this, and then we're gonna try that one more time. So yeah, so that's kind of the core of this game, is the idea that you can do this like parallel like planning stuff. And then if you have two people playing as opponents trying to gather stuff faster than their opponent, then it gets really weird. Then it gets like then the game itself can become so complicated, because it's got all these sort of questions of where questions of information. And that's kind of the core of it. That's where he said E6, he said E5. Okay, so let's see if I can load this up and run it without crashing and with multiple action cues now. Okay, so this one, we're going to take this one here forward. We're going to go to this piece, yeah. And this goes forward, left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and we'll see this. And now we can look and we can see that the key pieces, both pieces are moving simultaneously. So here let's make that a little, that the do. So we can say this is piece ID 8. Let's see, this is piece ID 6. Oh, so this needs to be piece ID 7. And then we get objective 3. We need to put that into the game board. Objective 3. So yeah, so now when I hit this play button, you need, okay, I'm gonna put that in, I'm gonna do this one, and then this one needs to go 2 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now we hit the execute, and the pieces are both moving simultaneously, and I've gathered all the, and then I crashed my thing. Yes, I'm improving the level editor so that the, you know, if you look at the way that the level editor is set up right now, it's not very clean. You're right. This the play mode. If you look in play mode, this is supposed to be a level editing thing, and you know, the way it's built right now, it's kind of, it's got hazard objective, gold objective. It's kind of set up to start. It's at the beginning of a clean level editor. Um, um, I haven't got it set up, so I need to have a load level in editor. Yeah, but it's getting there. Like it's good. It's, you know, I've got most of the functionality I need. I just build pieces as I need them, for building stuff, and a level editor is kind of the next on the list. I want to get a demo out, and so yeah, building out the level editor while I'm waiting for my wife. My wife swears she's going to do the graphics. She is a very high quality artist, and um, so she doesn't like my graphics, and I'm like, well, okay, then you can do some. And then she, you know, she's just busy right now. But we're getting to where I'm getting to where I need her to be, you know, actually doing the graphics, and it needs you know, the objectives and obstacles can now move, and you can have multiple move cues. It's not ready for, it doesn't have multiplayer yet. Like, that's the thing I'd really like to add for like a full scale demo. I'd really like to have multiplayer. And that, I mean, that's a whole different ball of wax. Everything is designed so that, you know, these movement cues are all designed very well for being portable. So you could take these movement cues and send them between players and move them around. Um, and that would be fairly, like, you could do that in a secure and network. Like, you don't send your movement cue until the other player is has okayed that they you know, you don't send the other player a movement cue until they've okayed it. Um, they've okayed theirs, so like, it's really hard to cheat because you need to, like, everybody said, you don't send what you're gonna do until after they do it, after they've said what they're gonna do. And and all that. But that, I haven't written that code. That's going to be more complicated. And I need to write the lobby finding code and the chat code for the lobbies and things like that. But yeah, but this is the core of the game, is being able to. UE5 has, yeah, UE5 has a whole system for multiplayer, and And it's all built in. Nobody wants to build a multiplayer engine from scratch. Um, I mean, nobody that's a game like designer that wants to do game design and like commercially sell a game wants to build a multiplayer engine from scratch. There are people that do. There are people that want to. But generally, what they're when you build a multiplayer engine, um, or the stuff for a multiplayer engine, you're building a plugin for an existing. There are like 4 or 5 different plugins for Unity that do various setups of multiplayer, for example. So there's like Fishnet and there's Mirror and there's the built-in Unity one, which is bad enough that people have built all these specialized things. In Epic's case, in Unreal Engine's case, there aren't a lot of third-party I've built networking from scratch plugins because it's fairly well done. There are several options, I think, but Epic, unlike Unity, Epic is building commercially viable games. Specifically, they built Fortnite, and they build Fortnite using the Unreal Engine. And so, when it comes to needing something that's different from the engine and figuring out how all the port stuff and all this, that, and the other thing, that's all handled. Um, um, that's all handled in here. Multiplayer programming, they have a quick start, they have a bunch of essential stuff, replicating, players help with rep notifies, um, making the player respond to damage, this, that, and the other thing. I designed my whole system so that basically so that when I'm passing data um, between users, I really have it all set up so that there are only really two chunks of data that I need to pass, and one is and they're both accessible from the game board, um, and they're the various objects that are the pieces the pieces that are in the game, and then there are the cues, and the game board has reference to both of them. So the amount of data, and that's all passed along in one big chunk at the end of when you're done setting up a turn. So it's really like, this game is really, in a lot of ways, I've designed it like a board game where you can do play by mail. I mean, you could mail somebody the game save and then play from, you could do it via email if you wanted. It would take a while, and I'd need to build an interface for that, but yeah, yeah. I do need to build an interface for loading up action cues, but I just did build, this thing that pulls action cues, that pulls default action cues out. And I just need to make a slight modification to load save manager. I need to make a slight modification to this to handle action cues better. And so that's on the list of things to do. But that's not as big a task as figuring out how to manage like lobbies and stuff like that. The environmental, like the big environmental tasks are bigger at this point. But I need to go set up dinner for my kids. I apologize to whomever the other viewer I currently have is. I'm just about to kick off. If anybody has any questions, I definitely can answer them right now, very quickly, if you want me to. Okay. yeah. Oh, that's also you on YouTube? Great. All right, bud, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And, hopefully I'll have a demo for you soon where you can play the first few levels. Yeah, and find all the bugs and then be like, this is junk. That's really what you do in the demo. All right. Later.